Good evening, good afternoon, and happy Sunday, everybody. It is your attorney, Sharif Silmi. I am coming in with a huge update on the March 2026 visa bulletin. I think if you have not yet already heard, there has been really significant advancements in the adjustment of status and visa bulletin generally. We were expecting this, we predicted this because clearly the impact of restrictions on immigration visas from abroad, 75 countries right now unable to access visas from outside of the United States, has certainly impacted the availability of visas. And we'll see in just a moment, let me pull it up, that the advancements has been really enormous. So what we see is there is a enormous climb for second category, all chargeability areas except those listed. So other than China, India, Mexico, Philippines, there is now a situation where anybody that has an existing approved I-140 EB2 category, your data is now current. So all adjustment of status, if you're in the United States, all countries except those 19 countries, we'll just have to deal with them in a separate video. You're able to adjust status. And by the way, even if you're from the 19 countries, so like Yemen, Sudan, some other countries, you could still file for your adjustment of status. It's just not going to be adjudicated. So decisions will be on hold. Now, as it relates to employment-based second category, what this means in a practical sense is if you are thinking about a self-petition, if you're someone who is from Ghana, from Egypt, from any Iranians who are in the United States, any of the researchers, individuals who are doing PhDs and have maybe completed their PhDs, are now doing a STEM OPT. Essentially, any country in the world besides India and China, as your country of chargeability, your home country, you are eligible to file self-petition, national interest waiver, and adjustment of status concurrently at this very moment. Or you can file the I-140 national interest waiver in premium processing. Decision takes 45 days. Upon approval, you can file adjustment of status immediately. And that means, that would be the case as long as the dates remain current beyond March. And but look, this is an enormously significant advancement for India as well. So for India, we have now November 1st, 2014 as the adjustment of status date for second category. That's a huge advancement. And December 1st, 2023 for first category. August 15th, 2014 for third category. So I know many people have been thinking about downgrading from EB2 to EB3. I've been advising against it unless it was very specific circumstances, because what we see is when there's an enormous number of individuals who downgrade from EB2 to EB3, what ends up happening is the EB3 dates start to lag behind, and then you have to kind of go back into EB2. It complicates matters. You have to do some mechanisms to remove yourself from one category to another, so on and so forth. So my advice to you is if you're in an EB2 category and your data is, current or close to being current, I would kind of stick to that rather than downgrade to EB3 at this point. I think it's important enough for folks to, stay where they're at because we see the gap between EB2 and EB3 narrowing, right? There's significant narrowing in the gap between EB2 and EB3. So this is obviously really important. Look, the fact that EB2, all chargeability areas, is now current is an enormously, dramatic change, because while it was only, maybe a year or two, I think it was 2 years backlog prior to this month's visa bulletin, it is an enormous practical change for individuals who are on an F1 OPT, particularly if you are in mineral resource extraction or energy resource extraction, if you are in any kind of highly sensitive areas of research, technology, of course, we are able to craft national interest waiver petitions in a way that has been well received. Part of the reason why we've seen a general increase in the number of RFEs or denials for national interest waiver cases has to do with specificity of the proposed endeavor that one needs to engage in. And it's really important, if you are seeking a national interest waiver, that you consult with us, consult with somebody who knows what they're doing, because there is a way to go about a proposed endeavor that's going to make a lot of sense for the adjudicator. And specificity of the proposed endeavor in particular is quite important. So I just wanted to come on and give the good news that the advancements have taken place. What we're looking at is the actual adjustment of status bulletin, which is the real controlling document for those of you who are already in the United States. And that's who this message is specifically for. If you are already in the United States, what you want to depend upon is the USCIS.gov green card adjustment of status bulletin. You do not depend on the State Department bulletin. There's 2 dates on that. You don't have to worry about that. You look at this bulletin right here. This is what controls adjustment of status and the processing of adjustment of status. And right now, as you can see, just to recap, first category, India has, advanced December 1st, 2023, China, December 1st, 2023. It's interesting. They're matching. Usually China's further along. But, we see many, much less visa applications coming from China. So demand obviously is changing there. First category, all countries current, which is not surprising. Second category, current. I'm a little surprised. I thought it would advance dramatically, but not this much. And this is really good news for a lot of people who are already in the US. So anybody, again, F1 OPT, I want to hear from you because we can make moves. China, second category, January 1st, 2022. That's pretty good. So if you want to do NIW China, the wait time is not very long. India, 2014, November 1st. And then third category, you see the dates. Even third category, January 15, 24. Those of you who now qualify for adjustment of status, you need to look into that. Now, one thing about filing adjustment of status in the current period is that it's not as simple and easy as it has been in the past, right? So we need to make sure that when we're preparing for adjustment of status, we're able to demonstrate some financial strength, stability. You want to be able to, show that you're quite capable of, kind of like paying your own way, and that you will not depend upon, government assistance at any point. So there's some things to consider as it relates to adjustment of status. And also, thinking about, like, for example, any kinds of, past crimes. If that were an issue, that would be very, important to, reach out and not rush into it. But besides that, it's a really, I think, excellent moment for individuals who are, I think, coming out of universities on F1 OPT, engineers, professionals who are seeking to adjust status. It's actually become a lot better right now. So this is, again, really good news. And I just wanted to, chime in really quick, give you all the update on this live discussion. And we will definitely do a more thorough deep dive and discussion in the days and weeks to come. So I hope everybody's doing well and has a wonderful week ahead. Thank you.